Yeah, I'm walking. I'm tired. Taking a quick break. It is hot today. It's like over 100 degrees. Still in the 90s in the mountain, which is just too hot. It's draining me. I'm tired. I'm getting close to the top. I'll decide if I'm gonna camp there or keep going. I probably end up just camping at the top because I'll just be too tired. So yeah, some days this is never easy. I know I film all this stuff, but some days you got good days and you got the energy to climb mountains, and some days you don't. Today is one of those, I don't have the energy to climb this mountain, so a lot of hike a bike today. Shouldn't be, but sometimes you gotta do it. All right, a few more minutes and I'll get going. Well, I made it to the summit. I am so tired. I haven't been this tired in a long time. It's like, I can't even explain this. It's like, it feels like when you hike a mountain and you're at 10,000 feet, 11,000 feet. That's what it feels like. I'm at 6,400. I'm still at elevation, of course, but I'm just beat. I am so tired. It's gonna take everything I got just to set up a tent. What a strange feeling today. I fell off leaving the house. You know, some days you just know. Like, I left and I'm like, it's probably a combination of the heat. Like, I am drenched. My clothes are just soaked all the way through from the heat. But yeah, I have no energy. It was a lot of hike a bike today, which it shouldn't have been. It should have been, that hill's not easy to pedal up, of course, but yeah. I'm exhausted. It doesn't happen very often, but I am so tired. Yeah. Another rough day. Wow, look at that hair. And I don't even care. Yeah, okay, so camp's all set up. I got my clothes out drying as usual. They're drenched. Not gonna cook because I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna go to bed early. And that's it. Good morning. Oh my gosh, I still look rough. It was a rough night. Tired. Got like 2 hours of sleep. I'm supposed to be in Quincy today, which is like 80 miles. I'm not gonna make it. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna make it. The heat, and I'm just exhausted. And one thing no one ever talks about is like when you ride dirt roads, you have to think of like 2 and 3 miles on an asphalt. So for 1 mile on dirt, you should equivalent to 2 to 3 miles on asphalt. So that's why when you do your calculations, sometimes this takes longer because riding on dirt it's just that much work. So anyways, I'll start breakfast here in a few minutes. Try to get that going. It's early. Sun's just coming up. These cameras sometimes just don't pick this stuff up, but it's very pretty this morning. So I'm all done with breakfast. That is a bacon, eggs, cheese scramble. I threw in some potatoes, some tomatoes, and an avocado. I don't think I ever went over this. I don't know if this will help anybody, but this is how I do dishes. So this is a 15 millimeter eye drop. You can get these 10, 20, 30 in packages on the internet. And I use a biodegradable camp soap in here. And I also use a simple, these are I believe they're by 3M Scotch Brite. Just trim one of these blue ones down. The green ones will scratch your stuff up. Blue ones won't do that, so you want to use a blue one. And this is just for pulling heavier food off. So what I'll do is I'll put the soap, some water in a frying pan, heat up, warm it up, and then I'll use this to start breaking the food down. And then to rinse the dishes, I use Hint water bottles. You could use any water bottles, but I end up, this is my backup water, my emergency water, and I'll just throw this in the bag. And then what I'll do is to rinse dishes, I will just swap out these caps. And what I did on the top is I took just a pin, I heated it up with a lighter, just get it hot enough, and I just slowly poked a couple holes in the top of this. And this is how I will rinse the dishes off from the soap and stuff. And then to dry, I just have the simple blue towel in here. Or sometimes I use those shop towels. They're like a heavy duty paper towel. But anyways, that's how I clean dishes up. I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. No reason. Everyone's a psycho. Everyone. There's pollywogs in here. So eventually you're going to hear frogs. So I keep hearing frogs in the middle of the night up here. Because there is frogs. It is super humid on this side of the mountain, that's for sure. It must have rained. It rained a couple days earlier in the week, and you can still see ground still wet. So it's nice. It's not enough to really get the road, get the dirt settled on the road, but it's getting there. So I'll take it. I'm just taking a quick break. I did a small change before I came out, and so I'm out just testing it. One of the last videos I was complaining about the size of the brakes and some of the issues I had coming down some huge hills. So I found a company out of Europe, Great Britain. A gentleman makes these little spacers. And on the flat mount, there's a brake mount goes on the fork. And this was designed to push it out, so you could run 180 millimeter. So I ordered one for the front, one for the rear. I changed out the front. The largest it looks like that these flat mounts from these manufacturers looks like to be about 160. So somebody got creative and found a solution, which I would agree. It makes no sense for these companies to stop at 160. And what I'm getting at is, so for bike packing, these companies still haven't quite figured out what the stuff and the equipment we need for bike packing. So if you're just doing gravel riding and you're riding a road bike, you're a small guy, 160, 140 on the brakes would work sufficiently. But when you add a heavy guy and a whole bunch of bags and that extra weight, you need to go to bigger brakes. And fortunately, this is so far the only guy I found who makes these adapters. So I changed out the front, trying to break in that front rotor, and I'll eventually switch out the rear. I don't do a lot of changes really quick. I just do small changes, see how it goes. So far I'm impressed. I think it gives like 12 to 13% more braking power just by going to that larger rotor. So anyways, just out trying something new as usual, just slowly tweaking these bikes. I used to read these magazines years ago, and some of those guys were really critical about, equipment and bike and fit and all that. And, when you ride around town for a couple hours, you don't really feel that stuff as much. But as I get older and I'm doing, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours some days on these long rides, it's amazing. I start nitpicking stuff just like those guys in those old magazines. And now I know why. I know why they nitpick stuff, because it just, it sounds weird, but if that seat's just slightly off, or the brakes just aren't perfect, or the reach on that brake shifter, it's kind of weird. I'm a little picky these days, apparently, but that's just how it is. So. Just grabbing some water real quick. Just taking a quick break, having a sugar rush. Maple syrup candy, not bad. Well, I guess that's it. See you in the next one. What did Michael Scott say? See you on the flippity flop. See you on the flippity flop. Betty Davis has only got one shoe. Gobble gobble gee and gobble gobble goo. I like turkey on Thanksgiving. Yes, for some reason I'm thinking a turkey sandwich sounds pretty good right now. I got a little Adam Sandler in my head apparently.